I look like a rock star. Hey, my daughter said I look like a rock star. That's what I'm talking about. Rock out. And I got the little nails. It should have been my thumbnail. Okay, so what's up? What's going on? What you doing tonight? I'm sitting up here with my child chilling. She about to get out. I started sipping my tea, and I wanted to talk to y'all tonight. How y'all feeling? When I ask that word, how you feeling, I want you to really examine your heart. See, I'm not next to you, so you don't have to answer that to me. But ask yourself, how you feeling? How are you feeling tonight? Let's see. It's already done. Did you go to? Did well? Who page did you share it to? No page. There you go. Okay, so when I asked the goodbye, I got the rest. Thank you so much. When I asked you guys, how you feeling tonight, it's not necessarily for me. It's really for you, and it's a self check and awareness that we absolutely understand how we're feeling, what state of mind we're in. It's a rough road ahead if you are busy living your life and not even being able to realize your emotional standpoint or your feelings and where you're personally at with how you feel at any given time. At any given time, I can tell you I'm mad, I'm happy, I'm confused, I'm upset, I'm in tune with my feelings. So that's why I always say, how you feeling tonight? Because I really want you to recognize how you're feeling. It has a lot to do with how you're feeling. um, so I know you guys read the title. Are you gracefully broken or broken? And I'm writing this. And I really, I had to commit to thought. What did that mean to me? And I had no idea. I had no even realization how far I've come. And it's absolutely amazing when I was just getting on my other pages. Okay, I'm live everywhere. You guys can like and share this, and that's right, like and share it. I'm on Instagram with Fever Reality Talk with Fever Daniels. I'm on YouTube with Reality Talk with Fever Daniels, and I'm also on Facebook with Reality Talk with Fever Daniels. And the topic of conversation tonight is: are you gracefully broken or just broke? So, and the reason why I put that is because I started to look back, and I didn't see no pictures initially, but I went over my daughter's house today and I happened to see a picture. And I was so young, like 18 or 19 years old on that picture, and I didn't recognize myself. I was living in total bumdom. I don't know. I haven't really talked to y'all in a while, so I don't know if you guys know, what bumdom means. But I'll give you guys some information about bumdom, and you'll find out whether you lived in a land of bums yourself or not. I lived in the land of bums for a very long time, and what I mean by that is I treated myself as if I wasn't important. So I was the bum. I wasn't necessarily referring to the people that was around me. Really, it was just me. I was the one not taking care of myself. I was the one not putting into myself, not reading especially when I was younger. I wasn't reading and writing. I wasn't practicing certain things. I wasn't buying myself clothes. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't eating right. I spent a lot, and this is just talking about the 18, 19-year-old version of me. Now, let me tell you guys about the 18, 19-year-old version of me, if you did not know. The 18, 19 version of me, at 18 years old, I stayed with my daughter's dad. And at 19 years old, I was in my own place. So the 18, 19-year-old version of me was free from rules and obligations. meaning I can do what I want, when I want, how I want it. But I was also on Section 8 and food stamps. I only received $234 a month in financial assistance, and I only received, I think, like two or so I don't even know how much food stamps I was getting, child. I just know that I was getting food stamps and Section 8 and my welfare check. So for me, that was all I was making. I wasn't the Fever who you guys have come to know and love at the time, really confident and successful and a bomb hairstylist. Shout out to Hair Relics, Beauty and Nail Salon. I wasn't that at all. At that time, I was just Gigi. They called me Gigi back in the day. And I was just a broke little girl who didn't know my left from my right. But when I looked at that picture, it really brought me back to a space, because I was looking at myself like, dang, that was me. I was with a person who told me, and even though I was only getting $234 a month, let's be clear, he was getting more than that. And that was more than I had ever gotten or received. I had never had a guy, take care of me on no level. So to have a man shelter me, put me in a house, and feed me and clothe me and supply all my needs, that was wonderful, because I had, before I met my child's father, I was staying with my sister, and before then I was homeless, so I was homeless by choice. That's a whole nother topic. It's a whole nother show. You'll hear a lot of people say how homeless they were, but a lot of times it's by choice, because we don't want to adhere to nobody's rules. We don't want to listen to our mamas and aunties and whoever, and they probably let us in, and we probably cussed our way out, so that's my story, but that's a whole nother topic. But I was with someone who was doing more for me than I understood how to do for myself, if that makes sense to you. And so because of that was an absolute fact, I had no idea that I could even do those things for myself. I didn't even know what I was in need of. He would ask me if I needed this or that, and I would be like, yeah, I need this and that, but I didn't even know before he asked that I needed this and that, so this and that could be something as simple as soap. Me spending the night over his house 1 or 2 nights, being able to use the whatever he have in his tub at 18, 17, 18, you're not really tripping off of it as hard as you are at 40. You're gonna come with your overnight bag. You're gonna have your specifics, and you know what you like, and you're gonna get that. But when you're 17, 18 years old, and you're coming into yourself, some people, I didn't, for one, know what I like. So I didn't know to make sure I had certain things. And this man provided all of it. I'm just painting the narrative for you. This man provided that for me. And I just, grew into that relationship. And I found out over time that this person was kind of controlling, and then started getting really controlling. And to the point to where he started saying things to me like, without me, what would you be? You make and do her, but ain't nobody gonna want you to take. They're not gonna take you serious for real. He used to say little demeaning things like that, and over time, it wore me out and broke me down, and I started to believe it. So when it came to a time where me and him was now living in my place, and I'm on Section 8 and welfare and getting my food stamps, he was just doing all this foul stuff, and I needed him out of my life. And I didn't know how to get him out of my life, because every time I thought back to how am I going to pay my bills, how am I going to take care of things, how are me and my daughter going to survive, how will me and my child survive without this man, I couldn't think past that fear. And because I couldn't think past that fear, I couldn't see myself letting him go. I wanted to stay. I didn't want to stay, but I didn't know what I was going to do if he wasn't present, because at that point, I didn't know what else to do. Well, guess what? I wanted to whoa for you real quick. Guess what your girl did? I put him out, and I was okay. Like, I found out that I could make it without him. Okay. And that was that. I don't want to stick too hard on that, because it ain't about him. It's just, I'm letting you guys know that that situation broke me. But And for a very long time, I didn't even know I could make it without him. But when I got out of it, I was able to coast through my life with no problem. And I found out that, dang, okay, I can make it without him. Then I went to this GED program. And I had graduated through a great came out of the program, and then I came back to do some interning with the owner, and a situation happened, and I honestly believe that I needed this program in order to be able to make it. The lady used to always tell me how amazing I was, but I wasn't gonna make it, very far without her. And then one day she put me out of her school, and I was so heartbroken. I cried. I went to, the powers that be, and I was just so heartbroken. And I just knew I wasn't gonna make it, because I was having such a very hard struggle with just even getting my GED. I was like, at that time I was like 20, maybe 20, 21. And I was trying my hardest to make some sense of my life, because I wasn't charging no more than $25 to do her at the time for everything. Sew-ins, quick weaves, you name it, I did it. But at the same time, I didn't have any traction. I didn't have a bunch of clientele. I probably was only doing 4 heads a week. So that $25 times 4 was nothing but $100. But then you take that $25 and you remove 50 from it, because I was a big weed smoker, and a lot of times I traded weed for hairstyles. So just being honest, it's 18, 19, 20 years old, I was doing things like that because I didn't have a mindset to do anything better. So I just never really seen money coming to me. And when the lady presented me with an opportunity, I believed her when she said that I needed her in order to make it. And when she kicked me out of her program, and I absolutely made it anyway, I had went to I went to 18. This is how you know when you're hard-headed. That's why I asked you how you feeling when I first come on, because I want you to resonate with where you're at and where you've been. I was so hard-headed, I couldn't get it nowhere. So I ended up going to 18 different GED schools. I eventually accomplished my goal. But what I'm saying is, I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to hurt myself that many times and be so hard-headed and basically run from my own path, because I didn't want to stick in with the things that was hard. But anyway, I was able to overcome that and get out of that. And so I said all of that to say that literally, there is nothing holding you back unless somebody got a gun to your head. Man, ain't nothing holding you back from getting to the best portions of your life. But you have to be willing to take a stand. I was broke and broken, and I allowed those different situations that I've been in to break me down to size. So far down to size that I didn't even know I could stand without those people. And I've heard over the years, I've actually heard from people that I used to be acquainted with. People tell their kids, you're just like your no good for nothing daddy. I can sit and stand and tell you guys as much as I can, 1,000 stories about what I felt like my kids' fathers did or didn't do. But in all actuality, I stood there and accepted it. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are still accepting the bare minimum because they have so much fear in them that they're afraid to just take a step and just, have a belief in themselves that is greater than the belief in another person. When someone tells us that we need them, that means we believe that without them, that we need them. We believe, I ain't even say that. If they tell us we need them, then that's just them telling us. But if we believe we need them, then we absolutely embody that. And then we started to believe that more than we believe our own selves. So I'm just saying, we got to learn as human beings, we got to learn how to believe in ourselves more than we believe in everybody else. I was asking my daughter earlier today, you believe God can do all things but fail? She like, yeah. I said, okay. And you believe that he's a God of the impossible. He can do the impossible. She was like, yeah, because I seen him do the impossible. My mom was like, okay, that's what's up. I say, well, why is it so hard for us to believe that we are as amazing as he said we was? Why we run so far from ourselves? Like, why do we take off jogging the opposite direction when anything in us that shows greatness or amazement or wondrous things come from us? Why do we feel like we're not worthy of that calling? So we run. I don't care what the calling is. It could be being an engineer, being a great hairstylist, being an architect. It could be whatever it is. Sometimes we have a fear that's in us that says we can't be there. We just thought that. Like the thought popped in my head, and I like what I'm thinking, but I don't think I'm the one for the job. I found myself believing that so much so that I used to pass my opportunities along to people that I felt was greater than myself because my self-esteem was this small. I would see you do an amazing job and I would brag on you all across the, St. Louis and tell everybody about this wonderful person that I just met. Yet alone, all these people are telling me how wonderful I am. And I'm just like, thank you. Not like hard to take a compliment, because I done been beat up so much and it been broken so much that even if I said I done been victorious and I got out of the situation and I won, really did I win? Because I'm still not taking the greatness that's on my life and running with it. How many times have, you gave up on an opportunity because you didn't feel like you was great enough to fulfill it? How many times have a wonderful, amazing, bomb, dope, like nobody out of this world would ever think of this type of idea ran across your mind and you thought it was just a thought? You had no idea that it was given to you. Like God downloaded that because he knew that you would be the person to fulfill it. But since you don't believe in yourself, you don't give yourself an opportunity to fulfill whatever he gave you. I have given away things because I didn't think it was mine. I thought I just had a good thought. Oh, this thought was for that person. No, fool. That thought was for you. That thought was for you. You were the person that he put it in. He put all the components and the tools and everything you need on the inside of you. You'll find yourself bursting forward like never before when you straight start leaning on what you already have. You are like amazing, and y'all already know it, but you don't know it. Because if you were anything like me that was broke and didn't even realize how I can find grace and all that and still get up and rise to the occasion and win, how far will you ever get if you allow that chatter inside your mind that somebody told you when you were 7 years old that you could never be a ballerina, and you turn out and you never do anything dancing wise because you felt like they words held so much weight that it paralyzed you mentally, So I just, I hope you guys have some type of a love for yourself enough to say, dang, look at yourself in the mirror and say, listen, I know I have been afraid of me for a very long time because other people have told me that I was something to fear. But I didn't know that I was something to fear because I was great. They told me I was something to fear because I was nasty or because I was bad or because I was a hoe or because I just was, I messed with the wrong dude or because of things that happened to me or some things that I did. I would never be anything. And I believed it so much that I stopped trying to become anything. So that's my little spiel. I didn't think I could make it. And I allowed that conversation to happen far too often with myself. I didn't think I could make it. Even recently. So I opened up my own beauty business school, and somewhere I did something. Maybe I didn't do something, but whatever happened, I got shut down and shut out of my school. And let me tell y'all, it had a big yellow sign on there with red words that say stop work. So anybody that rode up or past my school seen it shut, and they knew the city shut me down. So I'm looking out trifling and bad, and I'm just sitting up here feeling some kind of way. And my children, my students was there when the mayor the city director, policemen, um, the building director were all there, and they shut me down. And I had all my students with my last class before they graduated there, and we were outside. They was doing their mantra and they was speaking things into an existence outside of the salon, and they walked up on us. And here I'm teaching these students about speaking things into an existence and having your business lined up right and doing certain things accordingly. And I'm over here missing some steps. Okay. And so when they shut me out of my school because of how much money, time, effort, and energy that I put into it, when they shut me down, I started getting discouraged. Even though they shut me down, I got another place same day, rented it, and the next day they was in a new location. We wasn't shut down. We was just out of that location. But still in all, once school had graduated, I couldn't use the same location. It had carpet, and my kids was cutting her and things of that nature. So I needed somewhere that I didn't have to have do so much maintenance with. And I'm paying for this place every month. So long story short, I really was heartbroken, and I felt like I wasn't gonna make it. I felt like my school was just a fad. I tried it, and I wasn't gonna really. And I was in. Every time I accomplished one thing that they told me to do, they threw another curveball at me. They had me get licenses and things in order to. Physical study for tests type licenses. Like I had to really go in order to do certain things, and I was just like, then I got that, and I had to get something else. And then it was another month wait for something else. And I'm just watching like all my money go down here, and I'm not able to recoup anything because I don't have it. Things are coming from me, and nothing is coming to me. And I started getting depressed. I started feeling like it wasn't going to happen for me. I started really becoming a basket case because all that work that I put in, all that effort, all that time and energy, and now it's gone. I straight felt like it was over and I wasn't going to make it, and I didn't know what to do, but I made it. I was able to keep going. Every time they gave me another task to complete, I completed it. That's how I was able to make it. I didn't make it because I stopped. I didn't make it because I gave up. I only made it because I kept going. I'm going to say it over here. I didn't make it because I stopped. I didn't make it because I gave up. I made it because I kept going. Period. Wasn't no other thing to it. There wasn't no big hype about it. I just didn't stop. But I did it while I was crying. I did it while I was depressed. I did it while I was miserable. I did it while I was talking about giving up. I still kept going, I still moved how they said move. And I was talking to one of my assistant today. And she was sharing something with me and somebody was making her feel some kind of way. And she was like, it's like they trying to break me. No, she said piss on me. That's really the word she used. She said piss on me. She said, do I got to sit around and let them piss on me? Now, like the human, regular, normal side of me want to say, heck no. You ain't got to take that. What? Why you going to sit around and let them do you like that? Get out of there. Leave. But the realistic businesswoman, been there, done that, understand a few things. Part of me, the gracefully broken part of me said, yeah, you do. You don't sit back and let anybody walk over you. That's not what I mean. Sometimes you just put in situations not to be rescued out of them. Sometimes when God allows you to go through things, he's making you in that process. So for someone to rescue you from something that God put you in, you're not being rescued at all. You're being taken. That's the biggest form of being broken. Because guess what? If he put you in it, then you're being tested, and you're going to have to be tested again if you fail it. So you might as well take it. And I know she's going to do well. I know she's going to do absolutely well. But yes, I use this reference. David did not like And I don't know if y'all know who David is, because I have some people that are not Bible thumpers. They don't go to church or anything like that. But everybody know about King David. Everybody know about Goliath, and a lot of people do know about Saul. And David, he actually did everything he could to break. Saul did everything he could to break David. He tried to kill him multiple times. But at the end of the day, David would not have become King David. He would not have bore his son Solomon, who was the wisest man on the planet at that time. He wouldn't have been any of those things had he not been able to withstand the trial and the fire of dealing with Saul. So sometimes you got to deal with your Sauls in order to make it. Sometimes you got to deal with the people that are controlling a certain, level of things in order to get past them. You can't be pulled out of it. You just got to go through it. And it don't feel good. Trust me, I know it don't. It hurt. You don't like it when you get on a bike and you start riding, you fall off and you bruise your knee. But guess what you always do? Guess what we always did? Every bike rider always did the same exact thing. When they fell off, they hit their knee. I don't care how hard you fell off that bike. I fell up against a car one time, y'all. It hit my stomach, knocked the wind out of me. When I hit the ground, it scraped my knees up. I was just bruised up. I was like, oh, I can't breathe. And when my lungs collapsed, and when it came back to it, and I was able to breathe air again, and I went into the house and I lay down because it knocked the wind out of me and probably got bandaged up by my granny and my mama. I went back outside and I got back on the bike, period. So what's stopping us from getting up and doing something that is seemingly hard, but it's blessing our socks off? We can't I'm going to tell you what, I'm not going to say we, because you can do what you want to do. But I just found out by way of just keep continually moving that if you give up on yourself prematurely, you ain't going to make it to all those thoughts that's in your head. The best thing to do is just keep moving. The best thing to do is just continue to put one foot in front of the other and keep going. Because if you do not continue to move, if you don't continue to put each foot in front of the other and just do it, I fell off a lot of times and I just continue to move. When they shut my school down, they gave me a list of things to do. I completed the list and they gave me another list. They gave me a list of things to do. I completed it and then they gave me another list. I was going crazy. With that first list, I was crying, I was sad, I was messed up, but I kept going. I got up the next day and the next day and the next day, and then I graduated my students. But see, it didn't get tricky when I was graduating my students because I still had students. It got tricky when the students had graduated and I was at the school and it couldn't open back up for 3 more months, and I was sitting there losing money every single day. Literally. And I find myself back in the spot that I had worked so hard to climb out of. Seemingly the bottom, but which it really wasn't, because thank goodness I had took some extra precautionary measures earlier on to ensure that I wouldn't be flat on my face. But I'm just saying, had I gave up when they shut my school down, I would have just been broken, I would have just been broken. Had I gave up when I completed that entire list and they gave me another list, I would never be right here. I couldn't be right here because I'd really be messed up. If my school was just shut down forever, I wouldn't be able to get on here and talk to you guys, But what I do, I continue to get up and make everything that they put on them lists. I just did what they said do. And I said that to say sometimes you'll put in situations to get through it, not to be rescued from it. I needed to go through that in hindsight. When I look back, on everything and how it really went, I needed to go through that. I needed to go through it. It was imperative that I went through that because now I'm out of it and I can tell you how to get out of it. I can tell you how to climb out of it. I can tell you exactly to do what the steps to take or how it looks like and how you're going to feel while you're going through it. But let me tell you something. and just really be clear on this. If it was a task that was put on you by God and not by man, baby, you better not jump out of it. Walk through it. I'm talking about scared, pissy, upset, in a fit of rage, crying, ugly, not feeling good, hanging on by a thread. Go through it. Walk through it. Do not allow nobody, even when you telling yourself, oh, I just wish I didn't have to go through this. Yeah, I wish I didn't have to go through this, but unfortunately I am going through it. So let me go ahead and just make sure while I'm going through it, I keep this part of me intact. I keep myself intact. I keep praying my way through. I keep rejoicing my way through. I keep on decreeing, declaring. And if you ain't no decreer and declare, that's cool. But just keep on saying it. Open up your mouth and say it. I am like as wonderful as I was told I wasn't. If you a person that somebody's always saying that you're not something, you think you bad. You ain't wonderful. You ain't amazing. You ain't got this going for yourself or whatever. Then that's how you know you do. You probably kind of is. All those things. Anytime people work so hard to bring you down, that means that you're worth being up. So don't let them bring you down. Put your dukes up and fight. You so worth the fight. You so worth the fight. I didn't know I was worth the fight, but for some reason I kept swinging. I was swinging. I was tagging people because I was being pushed in a corner. So I fought my way out. I hope you guys are some fighters. Let me tell you something. I found out about myself today. How many of you guys ever heard that? Nah, I say that for another time. Well, it is 8:30 and I have class tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready for class. And I hope you guys are gracefully broken, which for me means that you got up and you kept going, other than being broke. Don't just be broken and laying and wallowing and stand in a stuck place because you're afraid to jump out. You're afraid of your own shadow because somebody told you it was scary out there. Get out there. Run for your lives. Chase your dreams. Get your passions fulfilled. It's like that time, and you don't have to be concerned with the fact that it's feeling like hell over here. Everybody going through something that feels like hell right now. So you're not alone in your feelings and your emotions that are telling you, you can't make it. That's a lie. You can definitely make it. You can do like whatever it is that you have in you to do. All you got to do is just keep on moving. Do not allow yourself to stop. Don't allow yourself to be the thing that takes you off course. You move harder. You move stronger. You love yourself deeply through it. You give yourself some grace. You forgive yourself for some things, and you keep going. Do not give up. It is not the time to give up. No retreating right now. Keep pushing. And this is Reality Talk with your girl Fever Daniels. I will be on here. Initially, I said Thursdays at 7. I like to do lives so that I can get some positive interaction between you guys and myself. So it won't necessarily be 7 because I have classes. So I know that time won't work, but I will periodically put different videos up at 7. Say hey Instagram. I will periodically put videos up at 7 on Thursday, so you guys can be able to catch the week's interview. But beyond and besides that, I will be going live all week long, just to let you guys in on what's going on with me, whether I'm at the school or the salon, and just having topic conversations like I always do with my wonderful guest that graces the presence of our stage. So I thank you guys for joining me tonight. I am your girl Fever Daniels, and this has been Reality Talk. I'll see you guys later.